There's the original starter for Utah State, Chucky Keaton. He tore his ACL last year, got a knee injury again this year in the third game of the season against Wake Forest. He's out. Daryl Garrettson, who we talked about at the start of the broadcast, broke his wrist last week. He's out. So it's third stringer Craig Harrison, who has played well here for Utah State as we start the second quarter on a 2nd down and 10. And for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for his second touchdown pass of the game. That one would have went to Wyatt Houston, the other tight end, but it hits the turf.
Boy, and Harrison wishes he could have that one back. But watch, I love his reads. He starts down the right, comes back to left, steps up. And that time, his tight end Wyatt Houston wasn't sitting. He was running away from the linebacker. That's just Harrison not having enough reps. He has to lead him to the middle of the field away from the defender. Boy, if you ask Craig Harrison, boy, he knows he would want that one back.
3rd and goal now from just inside the 10. In motion, Hunter Sharp. Natson into the backfield, a pass over the middle. It's deflected and almost caught for the touchdown. Went off the hands of Sharp, and Houston had another crack at it. But it's incomplete. 4th down, and they'll have to go for the field goal.
UNLV dialed up a blitz there. Houston 83 actually ran the seam to the back of the end zone. He's going to come here. He's going to be wide open right there. Look at no one covering him. Unfortunately, the pressure, Harrison stepped up, had to throw it before he wanted to. Good job by UNLV to get pressure on Craig Harrison.
It's going to be a 27-yard field goal attempt for Nick Diaz, the senior out of Redondo Beach, California, to try to make it 10-0 Utah State. And he does just that. 8 for 10 on the season now for field goals for Nick Diaz. 10-0 Utah State, just underway here in the second quarter.
Well, you know, going into this game, Coach Matt Wells told us he wanted them to play elite defense. I think they're playing pretty good defense today. Run the ball, they're established run, even though some of those runs have been scrambling from Craig Harrison, but it's good positive gains. And he said he does not want Harrison, he doesn't have to win the game, just don't lose it. Well, he's kind of winning it. He's playing really good football. I mean, he's stepping up, and I think playing better than people expected.
Brady, Harrison has runs of 12, 17, and 19 yards for Utah State offensively to help lead them to these 2 scores.
And he's thrown some nice passes. He's managing the offense quite well. Now, their tempo slowed quite a bit when Chucky Keaton got hurt. When they inserted Daryl Garrettson, they slowed it down. They used to be a lot faster with Chucky Keaton in there. So when Harrison was inserted for Garrettson, really nothing changed tempo-wise with the offense, with the cadence. So that is a good luxury for that offensive unit. But right now, really impressed what I'm seeing out of Craig Harrison.
Harrison has 4 rushes for 38 yards, has thrown a touchdown pass. 10-zip Aggies. Jay Mitchell and Keith Whiteley back to return for UNLV. Needing to get some offense going. Mitchell. On the 20, it's a couple of blocks, spins across the 25, still on his feet. Mitchell still on his feet. Did not go down, across the 30. Great blocking downfield by the Rebels, but now is a flag throw, so maybe not so great. Gets out of bounds just across the 40-yard line to the 41. A 30-yard pickup, though. We'll see if it stands.
But good job to stay on your feet, keep running by Jay Mitchell, trying to bring it all the way back across the field. Will be good field position. We'll have to take a look here and see what the flag is. Maybe a face mask. You saw some jostling going on.
Personal foul, face mask, number 17 of the game.
There you go.
15-yard penalty from the spot on the foul. First down.
And take a look at it here. Good job by the return man, Jay Mitchell. Get it up into the wedge and then bounce it out to the left. And you're going to see 17, Deshane Hines from Utah State, come in the screen right there. He's starting to get blocked. He throws his left hand, and right there you saw it caught in the face mask of the UNLV special teams player blocking. Referee on top of it. Another 15 for UNLV. Great field position.
Yeah, great call, Brady. You got it. You're absolutely right. The face mask, and sometimes you got to wait and see, because you're thinking immediately, oh, blocking the back of the return. No, not the case. And now UNLV with their best starting field position of the day, and Decker will get back to the line of scrimmage, +1, gain of 1, 2nd and 9 on the way.
And Decker can hurt you with your feet too. Todd Orlando, defensive coordinator, said that was their first key. Contain the quarterback. Don't let him hurt him with his feet. Force him to make passes quicker than he wants to. That's why he throws as many interceptions as he does.
And now maybe they can start to get a little bit of a rhythm going here, feeling like they have more options on the Utah State side of the field. Deep in your own territory, it doesn't give you all that much sometimes. You don't want to get a turnover, as Keith Whiteley on the ground, brought down by Brian Sweet for Utah State after a 5-yard gain.
But you see how quick the secondary is of Utah State, where I really think it's one of their stronger units, young but strong. You know, Whiteley bounces that. It looks like he's going to pick up a first down, and all of a sudden, boom, Brian Sweet, 21, flies up in the free safety spot, stops him short, and now there's another third down for UNLV.
Utah State defensively, they forced a fumble the last time on the sack from Nick Vigil. They've done an awesome job this season with takeaways. Here's the pass on third down, and it is caught, and let's see where they spot it. Catch made by Barnhill, and he is going to be just shy of the first down at the 35-yard line.
And watch the speed from Vigil, 41, as he flies out here. Watch this. He's mad because he had his hand on the ball. He almost ripped it down, but guess what? Came up and made the tackle, and a big fourth down for UNLV.
They're going for it. Decker from the shotgun. It is 4th and 1. Whiteley gets the call. He has the first down and pushes the pile down close to the 30 at the 31-yard line. Fresh set of downs for UNLV. 4-yard run. They needed that.
Well, and I like the decision by Bobby Houck. He said, listen, fourth down, we're going for it. Give it to Whiteley right up the middle. Good blocking by that offensive line. But, you know, when you're 2-5, 1-2 in conference, you got to take some risk. You got to go after. You're down 10-0 on the road. Good call and good execution.
Decker. Deep down the sideline. It's tipped, and it is caught for the touchdown by Kendall Keys. Count it. UNLV's on the board. A 31-yard touchdown.
And just a fly route from 84 Keys. You see him release and just run by the defensive back, Rashard Stewart. Stewart does a good job getting a hand on it. Brian Sweet coming over, but what concentration by Kendall Keys, 84, true freshman out of San Diego, California. Keep the concentration, make the catch, stay in the back of the end zone, and a huge play that UNLV needed in this game.
Second touchdown catch, the unconventional way. This time for Kendall Keys.
Rolling on the field was UNLV touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
So they'll review it here to make sure, but the true freshman Kendall Keys out of San Diego, California. What a job, and you're right, Rainey. What concentration. Here it is.
Now, we'll take a look at, remember, it has to be indisputable video evidence to overturn it. It gets bobbled. I think Sweet got a hand on it, too. Right there, you don't see the ball touch the ground. He's clearly in bounds. Let's see if we see anything from this angle as it's tipped there by Rashard Stewart. Sweet comes over. I think he touched it as well, a double tip. And what concentration by the true freshman. Nope, arm under the ball. I don't see ball anywhere. There's nothing there, Mike, that I saw that's going to overturn this. And a matter of fact, from what I'm seeing there, this call will be confirmed.
Yep.
And just a great play by Kendall Keys, 6'3", 200-pound freshman.
I'm with you. I don't think you can see anything or any part of the ball there hitting the ground. No, he's got control of it. He's inbounds.
And remember, all scoring plays are reviewed. I talked to the replay official, Thomas Robinson, before the game, and they're just going to do their due diligence and see. But folks at home, they don't see anything different angle-wise than what we just saw.
Right.
So, you know, they don't have some, you know, hidden camera that we don't have. They saw what we saw, and I don't think there's anything there to overturn that.
It's Devontae Davis, their top.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And there you go. And I was going to say it was Devontae Davis, who their top wide receiver, being injured his hand versus Northern Illinois on September 13th. That has kind of cleared the way a little bit more for the guys like Devontae Bourne and Kendall Keys, the true freshmen who have seen a lot of action, and they're going to be good for quite some time. You saw the athleticism there by Keys with the touchdown.
If you're head coach Bobby Houck, offensive coordinator Tim Rosenbach, you are really happy with your true freshman wide receivers, Boyd and Keys, stepping up in the absence of Devontae Davis.
The extra point from Jonathan Leyva is good, and it is a 10-7 ball game now in favor of Utah State. But UNLV finally on the board after nothing happening in their first 4 offensive possessions. They go down the field and get the touchdown. JT Barrett leads the explosive Buckeyes into Happy Valley, 110,000 plus against the Nittany Lions. Saturday night football, number 13 Ohio State versus Penn State. And how about What the Buckeyes have done, Reedy, winning by an average of 56-17. That's coming up tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC.
Well, you know, now that JT Barrett is getting reps, he's playing exceptional football. Big hostile crowd tonight as we look at a beautiful setting in Logan, Utah. White out up there in Happy Valley. We'll see what happens. We'll see if James Franklin and Christian Hackenberg, their young quarterback, who hasn't been playing really well lately, see if they can turn some things around tonight against Ohio State.
Short kick here. And taking it back is going to be Lawan Hunt here for Utah State, and has pretty good field position for them. A 24-yard return as we look at Craig Harrison's day today. The senior out of Grantsville, Utah, has played pretty well.
Well, I like the fact when he knows guys are covered and he sees green grass, he covers it. Look, good ball security, high and tight. Becomes a running back, picked up a couple big first down scrambling, and then the play action, roll him to the right, give him a run pass option as he hits his big tight end, Jefferson Court, for a touchdown. And he's playing some pretty good football as we look at his numbers.
Now he's on the sideline right now.
Well, they run Wildcat. Coach Wells told us we will run Wildcat with both 41 Nick Vigil and 9 JoJo Natson, so that's not a surprise, and they may put some other people in as well.
Well, here's the backup QB now, and Kent Myers, backup, I should say, fourth string quarterback for Utah State. He is in now. Will take a snap, but he's going to hand it off, and this is Hill. So Joe Hill, the senior, goes up the middle for 4 yards, and we weren't expecting any of this.
Yeah, that's a surprise. In all our meetings, there was no talk of Kent Myers, a true freshman from Rolette, Texas, playing in this game today. Matter of fact, Mike, you and I talked to his father in the elevator at the hotel, and his dad had no idea he was playing today, so surprised all of us.
Maybe we should have talked to him a little bit more there.
Maybe he knew.
Yeah.
Good poker face.
He did. Here's the handoff again to Hill. Hill's caught in the backfield this time for a loss. First on the scene was Dominic Baldwin for UNLV. Was trying to strip it. Wasn't able to, but now it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, just good penetration up front by UNLV as you take a look at number 97. Get that penetration. Dominic Baldwin blowing the play up in the backfield. And a 3rd and long for the young quarterback.
Well, we'll see if Myers is going to throw a pass here. They have to do something. 3rd down and long, rolling to his right, and here it is, and it is caught. And then losing the football at the end was Natson. He is a yard shy of the 1st down where he caught it and went out. Now they say juggle ball, no catch, incomplete.
Rolling out
would have been at the 44-yard line, still would have been a yard shy.
And we're going to see he's got the catcher. What he does here, he reaches out. What he did was he reached to get the ball to the 45-yard line because that's where it had to go. But when he hit the ground, the ball came loose. You have to control and complete the catch. That's a good call by the side judge coming in there, ruling that incomplete. But, you know, you understand what Natson was doing there, reaching to get that 1st down. But a good call by the officials there. And just like that, UNLV 3 and out will get the ball back.
2nd straight 3 and out forced by the UNLV defense. Jay Mitchell on a hop takes it just inside the 20, and he will not get away or get too far as he gets across the 27-yard line, or 25-yard line to the 26. And that's where the Rebels will take over and a chance to either tie it or take the lead on this drive when we come back to Logan, Utah after this. Utah State 4-3, 1-1 in the Mountain West as we go back 3 weeks ago as they defeated 18th ranked BYU 35-20. Daryl Garrettson there threw for 321 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Aggies, and Nick Vigil, who we've seen on the ground a lot today, he had 57 yards and a touchdown for Utah State. Brady, they have just battled throughout their injuries. It's only the 2nd year for head coach Matt Wells. Been with the program for a while though, and they are working on something here in Logan, Utah.
That's an impressive win to go into BYU. And listen, that helps in recruiting. For years it was Utah and BYU, but guess what? Utah State is very relevant in this state now in recruiting, and a win like that goes a long, long way.
Keeper by Decker on the outside, takes a couple of big hits. It's up to the 29-yard line. Let's go back to the previous possession. Here's Harrison. He took a shot right here right before the field goal attempt, and that was by Sherman, as you see, or Sparkman. Jordan Sparkman took a big hit right there, and that's why it was the 4th string quarterback, if you will, Kent Myers, that came in on the last series for Utah State.
I mean, he looked okay. I don't want to speculate. The hit looked kind of high. He could have gotten his bell rung. You see him there with no helmet around him. So we'll have to see, monitor that, see if he comes back in his ball game.
Whiteley, Keith Whiteley, for a pickup of 4 yards to bring up 3rd and short. LT Filiunga on the tackle for Utah State. Big 3rd down for the Rebels after they go down the field in their last offensive series, Rainey, and get the touchdown to close it within 3.
In this down and distance, you know, this is where I like a run-pass option with Blake Decker. He's good on his feet. Give him some options to try to pick this 1st down up and keep this drive alive.
Looking to build on that last offensive series. Decker. Play fake to the outside. Wide open. Keys got hit at the end. Incomplete. No flags.
Well, they run a smash route high-low as they go to Keys over the top. And 21, Brian Sweet, removes man from football. This is exactly what you want to do if you're a free safety.
Whoa.
Come in there. It's a clean hit. It's a hard hit to the ribs of Keys, but boy, that is your job as a free safety. Come over, separate the receiver from the ball, make sure there's no way he can catch it. You know, what happens is Keys in a vulnerable position there, Mike. He's extended, he's stretched out for the ball. Keys comes in to make sure he doesn't catch it, gets him right in the rib cage there, but that is what you do as a free safety.
Let's hope Keys is okay, and now he's up. Here it is again.
You see the full extension. He comes in. Ooh. You know, the head, the crown of the helmet doesn't hit. I know everyone's talking about targeting. He got him in the rib cage. That head slid up. The initial contact looked like it was to the number. So to me, that is a clean hit. What you have to do to a receiver.
And I think good by the officials there, as you're saying, to add on to your point, with the no call, because the helmet is going to hit the other helmet sometimes. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, so you can't immediately...
It's where the violent force is. If it's above the shoulder pads, above the neck, then you're going to get hit with targeting, and or if that crown of the helmet comes in first.
50-yard punt. Utah State leading 10-7 with the ball when we return. So here's what Matt Wells and his staff have to deal with this season. Their starting and backup quarterbacks, Keaton and Garrettson, are out. Swindle out for the year with an Achilles. Frack roll before the season even started, the linebacker. I mean, this is rough.
Yeah, well, a little good news because Craig Harrison's back in. I mean, that's why you don't speculate. They might have just wanted to give a series to the freshman Kent Myers.
Maybe so. On the ground here to Lawan Hunt. Hunt, the ball is loose. It's down at the 20-yard line. Let's see who's got it. He got it back. Usually it's the other way around. Utah State forcing turnovers defensively. Interesting enough, on the other side of the ball for UNLV, their first fumble this season. They had yet to fumble coming in. Their quarterback got sacked. He fumbled. Only team in the nation.
They had no fumbles, but yet they're -4 on turnover ratio, which is not good.
Here's Natson down the sideline, and JoJo Natson, the first down for Utah State. A gain of 15.
Yeah, and I talked about Natson early. You'll line him up in the slot. Here he comes right here. Just a speed sweep. Exactly what you want to do. Get him to the perimeter. One thing, if you talk to offensive coordinators, get the ball in the hands of your skilled, quick players and get them around the corner. You get them to the perimeter, they're going to make good things happen, and Natson did right there.
First down and 10 for the Aggies from their 35. Harrison, oh, he didn't see it, and he just got blindsided and sacked. How did he even hang on to the ball? Sidney Hodge, who was flagged earlier, no late hit there, and he gets his first sack of the season. Loss of 6.
And that's exactly what I was thinking, Mike. Hodge comes unblocked off the right side, and good job by Harrison not to lose that ball. Blindside, just, you know, not enough time for Harrison. Unblocked, blown assignment. Good job by Sidney Hodge on the corner blitz. to get to Harrison for the sack.
Lochalele was there as well, the weak side linebacker who's had 6 tackles so far today. Harrison dumps it over the middle, and it's caught by Natson. Natson makes some moves, and he goes down the sideline. JoJo Natson, he will not be caught. Touchdown, Utah State.
You know, besides the great play by JoJo Natson, Craig Harrison makes it. It's a tunnel screen to the left. He waits just long enough for Natson to clear to get up, makes the throw, makes the catch, picks up some nice blocks by his offensive lineman, and there's the speed and athleticism of JoJo Natson that we talked about. Huge play for Utah State.
71 yards for the touchdown, and Natson with his 2nd score of the season. Longest catch of the season, catch and run. Heck of an offensive play, and Utah State now makes it 17-7 with 7:17 to go in this first half. So the Aggies extend the lead to 10. We'll be back to Logan, Utah after this. JoJo Natson with a 71-yard touchdown run and catch, or catch and run, I should say, for the TD for Utah State. Harrison now 6 of 10 passing, 105 yards and the 2 touchdowns.
And that's what you want to do. A quarterback, only a 2nd career start. Short, quick passes. That time it was a tunnel screen. Get it to your skill guys. Run after the catch. Drawn up perfectly.
We'll show it to you in more detail after the kick. Jay Mitchell awaiting this one at the 7-yard line. Look out. Going the wrong direction. Mitchell finally taken down at the 8. And let's go back to the touchdown. Harrison to Natson. 2nd touchdown catch of the
it's
year.
called a tunnel screen. A lot of people are like, why it's a tunnel? Because watch, this is a tunnel that Natson right here is going to come right back down. The offensive linemen are going to come out and throw blocks. He makes the catch in here, and then he's off through that tunnel. Great execution. Harrison actually looks to the right first, comes back. There's the tunnel right up in it. And then it's just athleticism out to the outside and speed where he's not going to be caught.
And that shows the athleticism as well of the offensive linemen and what they had to do. Really, they had to get deep enough to create that lane, as you just clearly described. Good job. And the touchdown for Utah State to make it 17-7. Now UNLV deep in their own territory. They've struggled offensively, there's no doubt. Decker from the shotgun. Pump fakes, going deep, left side for Boyd. It's up, Boyd has it. What a catch. Into Utah State territory. First down at the 48, the other true freshman for 43.
And this is where you have a mismatch. Jalen Davis is 5'10". Devontae Boyd's about 6'2" with long arms. And I noticed on film, does a great job of high pointing. That's called high pointing. And when you go up with your hands, you make the catch at the highest point away from the defender. Excellent job by the young receiver, Devontae Boyd.
Well, that solidifies it won't be another 3 and out for UNLV because they've had 4 of them so far here today. As now Decker tucks it and runs it for no gain. Forced out by Filiunga for Utah State.
Yeah, and you see Filiunga there can run. Vigil, Filiunga, Zach Vigil, big brother, and Torrey Green. All those linebackers are very fast, sideline to sideline. So it's hard for a quarterback like Blake Decker that's used to picking up some yards, improvising, when you have linebackers that can fly to the football that quick.
Boyd is at the top of the screen, who just caught the big pass for UNLV. Keys is back in at the bottom of the screen. He's the one that took a shot in the last offensive series. Pressure coming in. They go back to Keys. He has it, and he gets taken down in midfield for a loss of a play. That's a heck of a tackle by Jalen Davis. Had he not made the play, he could have been off to the races because he had a block there.
And it's a trick play. Watch the offensive, you can see it there. The offensive lineman froze, and it was going to be a tunnel screen back to him, but Jalen Davis makes up for getting beat earlier as he flies underneath the block and makes the tackle, because believe me, if Davis doesn't make that tackle, he's got the whole offensive lineman out in front of him, and he's going down the sideline for a big gain.
Two true freshmen going at it. Davis, who had a career-high 7 tackles last week. They've really liked his play in the corner position. And now UNLV 0 for 5 on 3rd down today, 3rd and 11. Blitz coming. Decker gets away. Decker gets inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line. And I would think, Rini, if indication from what we've seen earlier, they will go for it here. Just a couple yards shy of the 1st down on 4th down, and we'll see.
Well, you're going to see 41, Nick Vigil. Looks like he's going to get to Decker 3 or 4 yards short. Watch Decker right there. Plant that left foot, cut it back in. Doesn't pick up the 1st down, but gets it to where Bobby Hawk can go for it here, 4th and short.
They will. They are 1 for 1 on 4th down so far today. Decker, and they hand it off, and it goes to Murray Lawrence. Shaquille Murray Lawrence, he is not going to get there. They're spotting it at the 39. Markers at the 38. Clearly did not have enough, and Utah State takes over.
And just stout defense up front by Utah State as we take a look at it. Just a lead handoff to the running back, and just penetration at the point of attack to stop that play in the backfield and hold them short. And again, the Utah State defense steps up.
Surprised with that call a little bit there to Shaquille Murray Lawrence on the ground. They needed at least 2 yards. And look.
No, you know, I think, you know, now you're down 10 once again, 17-7. You're on your side of the field, or Utah State side of the field. I think it's a good call. You just got to execute.
Now they flip it to Hunter Sharp. And Sharp gains only a couple, brought down by Tau Lotulelei yet again for UNLV defensively as we come up on the 4.5-minute mark to go here in this 1st half. 2nd down and 7 for Utah State. Craig Harrison, who came out for a series in favor of Kent Myers as he took a big hit earlier, is back in. 2nd straight series he has returned. DJ Nelson, by the way, is the 5th string quarterback if they have to go that deep. They've done this a few times as well, a couple of direct snaps. And that's it. Brought down this time. And Kenny Keys on the tackle there, 44 for UNLV.
And here's the problem, though, with speedsters like Natson. They want everything to go outside. Right here, he's got to plant that right foot and cut inside that block. You saw the offensive lineman pull out. When he kick blocks out like that, you have to cut that thing up into the field of play. If you bounce it, the defenders are going to make the play, and exactly what they did right there.
Yeah, UNLV defense, they had a lot of help there on the edge that time, able to make the play. 3rd down now and 6 for Utah State. Harrison out to the flat, and it's incomplete. Natson was leveled by Mike Horsey there for UNLV. Kind of left him out to dry in that pass.
And that's where the inexperience of Craig Harrison shows. You cannot do this to your receiver. You got to see that defensive back, the safety Mike Horsey, sitting there, and you know, you get your wide receiver lit up, which he did right there. But a good clean hit by Horsey. Natson looks like he's okay. You know, that was Harrison's checkoff valve. But if it's covered, throw the ball away and punt it. You know, a lot of bad things can happen there. Your receiver can get hurt. He could catch it and fumble it, throw it away, and punt.
Jaron Ben-Shrewd gets off a nice punt here, and taking it is Jay Mitchell inside of the 10-yard line and gets hit immediately at the 6 by Jens Painter on special teams. A 50-yard kick, and I'm not quite sure he should have. Maybe you should have let this one go.
Well, you know, in the old days, you stood at the 10-yard line and you didn't move. That one is a great punt. It was going to go out of bounds inside the 5, but give Painter credit from the gunner position to get down there and make the tackle. Excellent special teams by Utah State.
Field position here today has just been horrible for UNLV defensively, and that's another key from Matt Wells and also defensive coordinator Todd Orlando for Utah State, who we talked to, is that he needed his defense and their special teams to put UNLV in these positions today to help out.
They've done it, yeah.
They have done it. He's absolutely right, and they have done exactly what he's wanted in terms of changing the field position as Decker rolls out for UNLV, runs across the 10, out of bounds to the 13, and a flag coming in. I was going to say a late hit there by LT Filiunga, and that's going to tack on some more.
Yeah, and Filiunga has to know, I mean, once he's to the sideline.
Number 5, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Just let him go. You know, diving at his feet, it's a harmless tackle, but you're going to see Decker clearly out of bounds. Was it big? Was it egregious? Of course not. But yet, was it late and was it out of bounds? Yes.
Right.
You got to have the self-discipline not to do that. Now, you give them 15, they get a first down, you let them get off being backed up at their end zone. So that's a bad unforced penalty.
3 minutes to go here in this first half. You see the average drive start, the 21 for UNLV, and now Decker goes down, sacked. And David Moala on the sack that time.
Yeah, and Vigil's going to get there first as he beats the offensive tackle, and he's going down, and then he's cleaned up by his teammate as well. But Vigil, like a bullet off the corner to get the hit on the quarterback, and then cleaned up by Moala.
Second down and long now for UNLV. They've got 2 receivers to each side. The backfield is Shaquille Murray-Lawrence. Picks up a block. Good job there as Decker rolls. Again, nobody open downfield, and maybe the same thing this time. No flag, though, as Decker is run out after a gain of 7, getting back the yards lost. But now 3rd and about 9 here. They spotted at the 28.
And good coverage in this secondary by Utah State, forcing Decker to roll out. The problem is, as I said earlier, the linebackers are quick for Utah State. They get up there where Decker cannot hurt them with a big run.
This Utah State defense has been stingy. 0 for 6 on 3rd down as UNLV. Here comes pressure. Decker over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Micah Matalela, and now it's a punt time here as Mike Hughes Jr. had the QB pressure. There's no flag.
And they just try to get a little skinny post down the middle of the field. Thought maybe the right hand might have hooked him if they called it on Brian Hayes, but they didn't do it. And just like that, another non-3rd down conversion by UNLV, who coming into this game was only at 38%. That's going back a lot today. 0 for 7 on 3rd down.
Here's the punt, and a fair catch called for and made by Utah State. Hayden Wickers, and they're back on offense, up by 10. 51-yard kick. Later tonight, number 14, Arizona State, looking for their 3rd win in a row. They're on the road in Washington. Arizona State beat Stanford last week. They're 5-1, 3-1 on the Pac-12. College football at ESPN tonight at 10:45 Eastern. Also live on Watch ESPN. Should be another good one here.
Todd Graham doing a good job at Arizona State. Chris Peterson, former Boise State head coach, right out of here in the Mountain West, now at Washington. Yeah, we'll see if the Huskies can come up with an upset tonight.
Yeah. Utah State, with under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Minute 38 on the clock. Keep it on the ground. Lawan Hunt, 3-yard pickup.
And, you know, no rush here, Mike. You know, would they love to score points? Of course, but you're up 17-7. You just don't want any errors, no turnovers here to give UNLV a chance to score.
Sliding catch here by Hunter Sharp. Let's see, incomplete. Now let's see what they call here. It's going to be incomplete. Did not make the catch. 3rd and 7. Nobody's used a timeout so far yet here in this first half. 1:12 to go. UNLV, they get a stop here, Rini.
Yeah.
Maybe get some decent field position, have a chance for points before the end of the half, or Utah State. And they pick this up 3rd and 7.
Well, and I think you might see something safe here. They may try to run it or throw another little screen pass, but something a high percentage.
Hill, nope, nothing happening. They go on the ground and make it Hunt. and he is cut down at the 25-yard line. And they will have to punt this one away, and a timeout taken by UNLV.
But I like the call. You're up by 10, okay? The worst thing you can do is try to force the issue back down on your end of the field at the 25. Harrison gets picked off, gets sacked, fumbles the ball. That would be disaster. Then you give UNLV the ball in scoring territory. This way you run it. Bobby Houck has to burn another timeout. Your defense is really playing lights out. Special teams is playing great. Punt it away and say, you know, my defense is going to make sure you don't get any points with a minute left in the half.
That's what I was going to say as well. The way their defense is playing. I mean, they give up the one touchdown pass that got deflected.
Twice.
You know, twice, exactly. So I would say, sure, punt it away and trust your defense, which has been outstanding today. I mean, UNLV is 0 for 7 on third down. They moved it once when they had good field position into Utah State territory, but really their average start position today has been the 21-yard line. Ben Trude on the kick. Mitchell now smartly lets this one bounce as he caught the other one at about the 6-yard line. So it'll be at the 31 is where UNLV will have the ball with 54 seconds to go. Let's recap how we got to this point as it's 17-7. It's been the backup quarterback, the third string quarterback, and Craig Harrison today with his legs ready and with his arm.
And just, you know, managing the offense, running it well. There you saw the touchdown pass to Jefferson Court. Here the big touchdown pass for UNLV, the freshman Kendall Keys off the double deflection. And then the tunnel screen, well executed to JoJo Nance, and you see his athleticism as he takes that thing to the house.
71-yard touchdown there, and it's a 10-point lead.
He looked as tired as after the run as I did running up these bleachers after my interview at the start of the game.
We had a live interview there with head coach Matt Wells for Utah State right before kick, and you had to come right up through the stands. There's no elevator up here to the top of the stadium here at Romney Stadium. Here's the pass caught from Devontae Boyd for UNLV, and the pass from Decker, and he has it across the 40-yard line for a pickup of 11. Nice job to get out of bounds. Clock stops.
And a nice deep out route, and you know, Decker shows you his arm strength. There kind of has that three-quarter Phillip Rivers type delivery, but he can zip the ball if he has time.
From the 42, 1st and 10, still 2 timeouts left for UNLV. Decker steps up, he can run. Now directing traffic, gets to midfield, and Decker into Utah State territory and should have the first down, which will stop the clock to move the chain, and it does. That's a gain of 11 as well.
And again, coverage was good. Linebackers were back. Good decision by Decker to run that. A lot of green in front of him, picking up another first down.
30 seconds to go, first half, UNLV. Decker, strong throw to the outside, catch is made, and it's Boyd, and he makes a move and gets out of bounds inside of the 30-yard line. That's Devontae Boyd out of Henderson, Nevada, the leading receiver on this team, the true freshman, gain of 19.
Yeah, I was about to jump all over him because he didn't go out of bounds, but he did a nice job. He came back in, got more yardage down the sideline, and then stepped out. Good throw, good catch right there, comes back in, and picks up some more yardage.
Decker, 1st and 10, unleashes over the middle. It's caught by Mataele, and he has the first down and more in the red zone. Micah Mataele, a 20-yard pickup.
Timeout.
And a timeout, UNLV.
Yeah, and Mataele is going to come right down the seam. He's on the left side of the screen, and Decker sticks it in as Mataele beats the corner, Bryant Hayes, number 22. Good throw. I like how Mataele goes up, makes the catch. And boy, where has this offense been for UNLV? They just move it right down the field, and they're 1st and goal with 18 seconds left in the half.
Plenty of time at the 9-yard line. They still have a timeout remaining. You're right, Reedy, and I don't know, I mean, did you notice, or, I mean, you know, sometimes defense as well, okay, let's not give up the big plays.
That's
what's
what
happening?
happens. I mean, the secondary, you know, and they got beat at the end of the game last week against Colorado State with a deep one. So what happens is, end of the half, end of the game, you get a little lax in terms of you don't want to get beat deep, and all of a sudden you got seam routes being run, deep out patterns being run. You don't have the pressure that you were normally getting. The quarterback starts making some throws.
Yeah, you wonder why, you know, teams even do that. Everything you were doing up to this point was working and stopping deep balls, short passes, everything. Why even change it up? 1st and goal, UNLV from the 9. Decker looking left side, pass is caught. And at the 5-yard line, it's Anthony Williams. Devin centers on the tackle. 2nd and goal now. They inch their way closer.
And the one thing I will tell you, UNLV's offense is predicated on the vertical game, going vertical, deep outs, fly patterns, post patterns, seam routes. Now when you get down to the goal line, you're condensed. You can't go vertical. You have to go a little more lateral. We'll see if they can punch this thing in to go into halftime with some good momentum.
2nd and goal from the 5. Decker gonna step up and run. He has the option to get in there, and he's down to the 2, and he had daylight, but he got closed down quickly. They're gonna have to use the timeout here.
Timeout.
Which they do.
Their 3rd and final of the half.
With 8 seconds left.
You know, and now if I am Tim Rosenbach, offensive coordinator who calls the plays, or Bobby Houck, you got 8 seconds left. You're 3rd down. You got no timeouts. If you get tackled in the field of play, you're done. Half's over. You're not going to be able to spike it and run the field goal team out, most likely. What I do here, you got Kendall Keys, a 6'3" freshman, likes to go up and high point it. Devontae Davis is out. Devontae Boyd, big receiver. How about a fade route into the end zone? Let him go up. If he can catch it, get a touchdown. If not, kick it.
I would say, how about what Decker's done here on this drive alone, the junior out of Arizona, and he has really come alive here late in this first half. Here he finds Devontae Boyd, who gets out of bounds, does it again, as you said, makes the nice move, and then goes out of bounds again to stop the clock, and a big pass over the middle to Mataele, setting up, you know, 1st and goal.
When he spread it around there, 3 passes to 3 different receivers, and they moved right down the field.
There's 8 seconds to go, and now a timeout taken by Utah State.
Timeout. Utah State. Their 1st of the half. 30 seconds out.
So as you say here, you have 1 pass, really incomplete. You go for the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think traditional wisdom tells you here. You know, as I said, UNLV is a vertically predicated offense. They spread you out 5 wide. What Bobby Houck is telling Blake Decker right now is, go to your read. If you can't throw a touchdown pass, throw it away, and we'll kick the field goal. If you get sacked, the half's going to be over. So you have to be quick with your read and see if you can stick it in there and get a touchdown.
I wouldn't even put it past them if they don't get this on this pass, to maybe even go for it on 4th down. We'll see.
Well, you know, only down 17-7, Mike. I think those 3 points to get in there with momentum would be huge.
From the 2, 3rd and goal, out of timeouts, 8 seconds. Decker, shotgun. Looking end zone, wide open, and caught for the touchdown is Taylor Barnhill.
Well, there's the pick rub play that we saw Notre Dame run against Florida State last week. You're going to see 84 Kendall Keys. He's going to come inside. They'll slide the receiver outside for the touchdown. 16 does a nice job to make the catch for the score. Taylor Barnhill, and just like that, boy, what momentum for UNLV to take into the locker room at halftime.
And the senior tight end from Rome, Texas, with his 1st touchdown catch of the season, and the extra point is blocked. Utah State. Closing the door on the extra point, but it's 6 for UNLV late in the first half. Here's a look at the block again.
And just the penetration right up the middle, Mike.
Tough to tell who got a hand on it, but let's go back to the touchdown.
But, and you see it. I mean, offenses call it rub plays, defenses call it picks, but guess what? It's not called, it's executed. Good touchdown by UNLV, and Bobby Houck's pretty happy with the touchdown, not happy with the block extra point.
We were just talking about this morning in the Notre Dame Florida State game. Looked almost like that. That was Kendall Keys, 84, that just kind of goes up a little, and Barnhill scoots out to the right. I mean,
but the difference there is Keys really didn't throw those hands out there. He kind of ran like he was running around, a little shoulder, little rub route, as I said, the offenses call it, and it's executed well.
And it was from the 2-yard line. You go back to that other game, it looked like he was blocking downfield for a couple of yards. It made it look a little bit more
because
egregious.
it was backed up more than 5.
So this one's a short one, and they get the touchdown.
But same type of play, same concept. Every team does it. It just, it doesn't get called. But I think it's a good no call, and I think it's a good touchdown there. And give Blake Decker credit for maneuvering that team down. I mean, they went a long way with a minute left in the half on this Utah State defense, who has played really well. That's a huge touchdown for UNLV. A lot of momentum going in at half, only being down 4.
Yeah, now Bobby Houck, the head coach for UNLV, could head into the locker room and say, hey guys, you know, look at this. 7 plays, 69 yards in 50 seconds, and our quarterback Decker goes 5 for 5 on that drive for 56 yards. We've got it in us. We're capable, only down by 4. That's all they could have really hoped for, you know, minus missing the extra point, getting it blocked to go into the half, as Hunter Sharp trying to make something happen here at the end, and that's going to do it. That'll be the end of the first half. So Utah State had a 10-point lead. They give up a late touchdown, and they will receive the second half kickoff with a 4-point advantage, 17-13 over UNLV. That's the end of the first half here from Logan, Utah. Sports Center coming up after the break, right after this. Stay tuned.